Hey guys, it's Anthony. This is the long-awaited, much-anticipated PPC video. Now, I said on the last video or a couple videos ago that I didn't intend to make a marketing video. I thought that was kind of the easiest thing so far, but it's actually been my most requested video. So I've been getting lots of inbox messages, text messages, and people saying, "Can you make the darn video already?" I'm like, "Oh dang, okay." So I don't want to overcomplicate it. I'm gonna make it as simple as possible. Just a disclaimer: I am not a PPC expert. I don't claim to be on YouTube. So follow these tips, tools, and advice at your own risk, right? Because this is your money at stake. So at the end of the day, it's your business. You're watching a video on YouTube. Don't stake your whole future on that. So if it's like your rent money or something, sometimes PPC is going to take a little while for you to get some traction. I got lucky. I got a couple deals early, but maybe these results are not typical, right? So just kind of use your own better judgment. My recommendation is always to make sure that you pick a budget, right? A daily ad spend that's not going to hurt you. So if you can pick a budget and let it run forever, is what I've been telling people, then that's your number. So if your number is $10 a day or $20 a day where you can just let it run and you've never got a deal, then that needs to be your number. Because hopefully you get one pretty quick, but if you end up having to let this thing run for a month or 2 months or 3 months, and then by the time you lock up a deal and get it through the process 30 days, 45 days in, then you're 4 months into trying to get a deal from pay-per-click. So if you can't afford to lose the money that you're putting up, then I don't recommend this strategy for you. If your budget's that tight, then maybe you need to handwrite some bandit signs and get those out there, something like that. But I think some simple tips for PPC is just to keep it very, very simple. So the reason that I even pay attention to market, I've been doing marketing for a long time, and I've used every single strategy. So I don't want you guys to think like, oh, this guy's a one-trick pony, doesn't know what he's talking about. And again, I'm not an expert, but I've done everything in marketing. I've been in marketing for about 10 years. I've been using things like everything else, the Craigslist, Angie's List. I've done mailers, I've done text blasts, I've done email blasts, scraping, bots. I've done all kinds of stuff. So anything you can think of for marketing, even door knocking. I was door knocking when I was probably 10, 11 years old, asking people if I can cut their grass. So I've kind of been a marketer my whole life by accident. I didn't know I was a marketer. I was just, finding different ways to generate business for different kinds of companies. I was even selling candy in elementary school. So I guess I was just a born hustler. I've always wanted to be in business for myself, and I've always liked the idea of out there being proactive about generating new business. I did everything when I got into wholesaling. I said, let me see, what marketing methods work. I saw all the gurus on YouTube and all these guys and pulling these lists and skip tracing. So I went to List Source, and I did have an unlimited budget. Definitely not like a freaking millionaire or nothing, but I didn't have any goal in mind of what I wanted. Started, I didn't have any budget in mind. I said, I'm just going to spend whatever it takes to get some deals and then see what happens after that. So I'm not real good at tracking. I don't track KPIs. I actually don't track anything, to be honest. People ask me, they're like, what are your average, cost per lead or your average cost per closed deal? And I have no clue. I have zero clue. I know that's bad, it's wasteful, I get it. I could be a better business person and I could really blah, 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 blah. And I know people use that so that they can scale and they can, hey, how do you know if you don't know what your numbers are? I don't care. I'm gonna let it run. I've been getting consistent leads, consistent contracts, consistent deals. So I think it's working to some level. I'm way, way, way positive. I think I'm like close to 5,000% ROI on my ad spend right now. So not saying that to brag, I'm just saying that if you're not great at tracking and all the stuff that the gurus say, don't let that, deter you from getting into pay-per-click, right? So I did all marketing methods. I did text blasts. I pulled thousands and thousands of leads off of List Source. I want to say I pulled like 1 million records or something obnoxious. I skip traced all of it. I did RVMs. I had a VA in the Philippines making phone calls, all kinds of stuff. And I got a couple leads here, a couple leads there, but from the amount of effort that was going into it, the amount of organizing, the amount of data that I was sifting through, the amount of money that I was spending, it could have kept on adding up faster and faster. And I know these guys are crushing it. These guys have call centers and all your YouTube gurus. So that's cool, good for them. I'm glad they're crushing it. I really do like seeing people, be successful. That's why, obviously, the reason I'm making these videos is because I figured, there's somebody out there who can benefit from it. Well, cool, here's all the information. It's free, there you go. I hope it helps. But randomly, I was watching a Max Maxwell video, and I heard him say, yeah, we're doing this for marketing, that for marketing. I guess they're interviewing him, and he's like, and I do a little PPC. And something about the way he said it, I'm like, I think this guy's FOS. You know, he said it like, I don't know what the heck I caught. Something sounded weird to me. So that night, actually, I went home and I'd set up a pay-per-click campaign. I called Google. This is actually part of one of the strategies, one of the tips is call Google. I didn't know this. I called them. I said, hey, I want to run some traffic to my website. And they set up the whole campaign for me. So they said, what kind of keywords do you want? I gave them like 3 keywords. They're like, okay, great. They built multiple campaigns, multiple ads, multiple everything. They built the whole campaign out for me for free. So that was like kind of a shocker for me. I think I got a lead, I want to say like in the first day or the second day. I went to the lady's house the next day and got the contract signed. So it was a like I said, I got lucky, but pretty cool experience. Actually, I started out really high. I think I started out like in $100 a day or $80 a day or something. I just wanted to see what would happen. But most of the year I've been running 20 a day. I bumped it up to 40. I think now I'm like at 60 a day. But I wanted to talk about real quick marketing and why you need to be doing it. If you're marketing 24/7 for anything, actually, I run multiple companies. I run leads to multiple companies. But you can kind of create like an unlimited funnel of opportunity directed at yourself. So right now, with all the opportunities I have in real estate, construction, roofing, solar, I will never, ever, ever be able to finish sifting through all the opportunities that I already have, plus what's coming in. So if you're always doing marketing and nothing else, you're gonna crush it. You're gonna crush it at anything. I joke and I tell somebody, well, yeah, if one of my friends opened up a plastic surgery clinic, I could drive them business. So no matter what company it is, to me, the product, the service, whatever you're doing in business, it's all secondary to marketing, right? Because first, if you can generate the business, well, your whole company can thrive off of that. So everybody talks about building a brand, and I get it, right? Some of the most powerful companies in the world have brands, but for me, I focus on purely marketing only. I don't brand a business name. I don't brand a company. I don't brand anything. And I know maybe long term I'll regret that 20 years from now, but I don't even know if I'll be doing real estate, in a year or 2 years from now. Maybe I'll be doing something else that's way more profitable. I have no clue. But for the last 10 years or so, I've been just focusing only on real estate and on marketing. And the only reason that I recommend that is just you can create a never-ending, unlimited supply of opportunity directed at yourself. And that's a pretty interesting place to be in because obviously the longer you do it, the more opportunity you'll have to draw from. And if you have unlimited opportunities all around you at all times, then it can get you to a pretty interesting spot. So I would definitely be doing that. As far as PPC goes, do what works for you. Maybe in your market, maybe the competition's so fierce that, maybe you're not in the best market. I cover Texas. I cover the whole state of Texas. So for one, being very broad with your campaign, that's another tip. I would definitely do that. So if you're only trying to target, I did try to target one city. I tried targeting only all the major cities in Texas, and the leads, they were expensive and they were few and far between. And these people had already, they've talked to several people. So I'll talk to them, in the morning, and by the afternoon, they're like, oh, we already got an agreement signed with somebody else. So targeting the major cities, I'm sure it's a great strategy. I'm sure people are crushing it like that, but I'm covering an entire state. So some of my best deals have come from these little rural off markets. You'd be surprised. I would say 75% of my best deals have been in little towns and cities that I've never heard of. So I would definitely look at that. So as far as setting up the campaign, let's kind of remove some of the mysticism, right, from pay-per-click. You set up your website. I'm using a Carrot website. I highly recommend that you use a Carrot website. If you're not using Carrot, and I don't want to go into why, but one of the top guys that I followed on YouTube who I was really impressed by, he's one of my favorite guys. He said that if you're not using a Carrot site, he doesn't even want to work with you. He said you're just not going to get the conversions. So based on all of his content, everything I learned about the guy, I do believe him. I went directly with Carrot as soon as I started, and it has not let me down. So on Carrot.com, there is an affiliate link that you can use when you sign up with Carrot. So I'm not just pitching it for that. Sign up with somebody else if you'd like, or you can go straight to the Carrot site, sign up. But I'll post my link down below if you sign up with my link. Obviously, I get credit for that, so kind of just throwing that out there. But either way, guys, yeah, use a carrot site, call Google, say, hey, here's my 3 keywords. They'll build out the campaign for you. I mean, literally you can type in Google AdWords help or setup, Google AdWords 800 number. It'll give you 800 number, call them, say, here's my website, here's the keywords that I want to target. I can do 10 bucks a day. Here it is. They'll build it all out for you. One more thing, I guess another tip is to make sure that you set up your tracking links. So there's a code that you would embed onto your website that will show anytime somebody visits your site, this tracking link will keep track of who's coming there. It'll help you track your conversions, so that when somebody does land on your site and fill out the form, Google can keep track of all that. So they'll say, then you can look in your back office at AdWords, which I do look at every now and then. It'll say, hey, your average lead form is 30 bucks, and so you can keep track of some stuff that way. That's very important. I'm the worst guy you can ever think of when it comes to tech. So everybody asks me like, hey, how can I set up my tracking link? How can I do this? I have no clue. I have a guy who does it. He's based out of Florida. I use him for everything. His name's Andy or Andrew. He does little tasks for me like that for like 40 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks. So anytime it comes to anything that's mega technical, I just send it straight to him. So if you guys don't have anybody to help you with that, I can send you his information too. Again, he does stuff for me for next to nothing, $40, $50, and then you don't have to be an expert at anything. Somebody told me today, they were hitting me on Messenger about pay-per-click, and they said, you have to be a pay-per-click expert. You've been doing it for such a long time. Well, I can proudly say that I've never been able to have success with Google AdWords until I got into real estate. So I don't know why that is. I guess the profit per lead is the ratio is obnoxious. So I can tell you that I'm definitely not a pay-per-click expert. So the way that it works, your campaign's running. Here's another tip: let the dang bot do its job. So if you're turning it on and you have $20 a day, it's been 30 days, and you say, hey, I haven't gotten any leads yet. Well, the bot is working, okay? Trust me, the bot's working, it's doing its job. It's an algorithm, right? So every time somebody hits your site and they click on your ad, Google's tracking that. It's tracking what kind of people are going to your site. So the bot is getting smarter and smarter and smarter every day. So let the bot do its job. Let it accumulate some data. Then after a few days, a week, probably about once or twice a week, I log into my back office at adwords.com. And I check on it'll show you which phrases and keywords are generating your ad. So somebody goes to Google, they type in, hey, buy a house in San Antonio, and it pulls up my ad. Google will show me that in the back office, and I'll say, whoop, I don't want that keyword. Click on it, add to negative keyword list. Boom, Google won't show that. Anytime somebody types in that type of keyword, they're not gonna pull up my ad anymore. So you're between you and the Google bot, your campaign's getting smarter and smarter over time. Every time you tweak something, every time you tweak your ad spend, let's say you started with $5, then you bumped it up to $20, the next day you put it to $30, and then you back it off to $10. Every time you tweak it, you're throwing the algorithm, out of rhythm. So you got to leave it alone, let the bot work, pick a budget that you can let run indefinitely, and go in, like I said, every now and then, twice a week, 3 times a week, and Google your keywords. Let it do a little bit of work, right? Let the bot run for maybe a week, 2 weeks before you start going in there and playing with too much stuff, so you can see what kind of phrases and words are getting pulled up. Another thing is you'll probably see in the beginning that your cost or your cost per click, cost per form, everything's gonna be super high. So when I first started in mine, I think some of the cost per click were like in $20, $25. Even the guy from AdWords was like, you're not gonna get any traffic, you're not gonna get any leads because your competitors were willing to pay more. So they were $20, $18, $12 per click, which is crazy, right? Especially if you're only running 10 bucks a day, you're only getting like a click every 2 days. But over time, you'll start to see it. You can keep track of it. It shows like a line chart. So you'll see that your clicks are going down over time. So sometimes you'll be down in the $2, $4, $6 range. Again, depending on the landmass, if you're doing laser targeting one city in a major competitive market, yeah, you could be stuck at that $18 to $20 mark. But let the bot do some work. I think pay-per-click is not about, I can spend $200 a day right now and I can get more leads than anybody. I think it's better served over time and distance. So if you say, I'm gonna pick 20 bucks a day and I'm gonna let it run for the rest of my life, you'll see over time how it changes from month to month. You'll see how your cost per click drops and, maybe even your cost per lead form. So that's it. Set up your website. I say use a carrot site. I'm not getting paid for saying that, right? I don't work for Carrot or anything, but I've been kicking butt with it. One of the most respected guys I found on YouTube uses it. He says he won't work with anybody who's using anything else. Dude runs like a 140 person brokerage, so I believe him. Call Google, have them set up your keywords, let the bot work, go in there every now and then, tweak your keywords, toggle things on and off that you don't like. run one budget, run a budget that you can let it run indefinitely, right? So 2 months in, you say I've spent $1,200 or $2,000, I haven't got any leads. Trust me, just let the darn thing work. If you're going to use this as your primary source of leads, you know, you might be a little disappointed if you're only getting a lead a week or a lead every 2 weeks. You know, I can understand that you're wasting that money and you feel like, hey, nothing's coming back in. But I guess the point is with PPC is to let it run at a low speed that's easy for you. Get a few deals and then scale it up as the deals come in. So that's all I can recommend, right? Like right now I'm up to $60 a day, and I might even increase from here, you know, after I get another big deal. But I'm gonna let it run there. I'm comfortable with that. You know, $1,800 a month. It's not going to kill me, and I know that 1-2 deals, I mean, can pay for it for a whole year. So I would say just in the last 60 days, 45 days or so, I've got like 7 contracts. I got like 2 leads yesterday. So I don't know. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the performance. I'll never. I mean, it seems like I might never go into the red, right? I say never, but I say that, you know, with caution. But it seems like from here, I don't think I'll ever be in the red. I'm letting it run. It's bringing in leads. It's bringing in deals. Some deals have been substantial. So I feel like my marketing has already been paid for the next few years. So I can only imagine what the next, you know, several months are going to bring. I hope it keeps on going this way, and it seems like it might. But that's it, guys. I mean, that's PPC in a nutshell. It's nothing magical. It's nothing too special. But that's the whole entire strategy. Again, I know there's a lot of agencies out there that say, hey, you got to let us do it, or you're going to waste a bunch of money. But if you don't have the money to hire an agency, you know, maybe that is the best route. I don't know. I can't tell you not to use them, but I'll tell you, I know nothing about pay-per-click. I've never run a successful campaign before, but that's all I did. Literally step for step. This video is everything that I did. Set up the carrot site, call Google, let them set up the campaigns, build them out. You go in the back office, turn off the keywords you don't want, turn on keywords you do want. You'll see it's pulling up all kinds of junk. It'll be pulling up phrases that have nothing to do with your business at all. You know, just turn those off. The ones that you like, that you think are very relevant to your business, turn those back on. So that's it, guys. That's the whole video. That's pay-per-click. Pick a budget that you can live with, let it run forever, and get some deals. You know, get some deals on a contract. You'll find out that these deals from these types of leads or these types of sellers are super motivated. And I don't know if it's in a major city, right? They might have already been hit a bunch of times. But in some of these smaller rural areas on the outskirts of these cities that nobody's targeting for whatever reason, they got shiny object syndrome. They haven't talked to very many people. I've even had people call me back months later now. This is I think second or third time. I talked to this lady in July, and we just got a contract with her yesterday. So, I mean, that's the game, that's the business, that's the whole thing, that's pay-per-click. It's not scary, it's nothing mystical. That's it. If you have any other questions, comment down below. Right, you can always ask questions down there. I do my best to respond in a timely manner. If you're not a subscriber of this channel, I would appreciate it. It helps the channel if you like, subscribe, tap the little bell. I'll try to bring as much value as possible. Every time I learn something new, I would definitely make a video about it. If you have any other video ideas that you would like to see me make, you say, hey Anthony, can you make a video about this? I definitely will. Even if it takes me a month or something, I'll definitely get to it just as quick as I can. I still got a lot of other fun videos coming up, a lot of other cool ideas, so I'll keep on building as I go. I'll tell you about some other stuff that I'm working on, some other businesses that I'm working on, and how I plan to use real estate and real estate marketing to get into all kinds of other businesses. This is going to be a fun run, guys. All right, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I know your time is valuable. Thank you for spending it with me. I will talk to you soon. God bless, guys.